Hello delicious friends and welcome to Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition campaign, where we have some kindred, half kindred, that are trapped within a city and are trying to make the best of a bad situation. So let's begin by welcoming our illustrious guest, Mr. Elysium.
Hi.
He has words, I promise.
I do have words. Hi there. Welcome.
We will get to an introduction of your character later, but as usual, please welcome EE, Sheepy, and Delphron. I like the mask this week. I have not.
Yeah, I don't know what it's. I don't know what that's supposed to be. I think it's like a shocked, sad face, maybe.
It's maybe you're just screaming ah.
Maybe you just got like one tooth that's coming through.
Like it would need like a little line here then to like look proper.
Yeah.
Like an underbite, maybe. Yeah. So, I think the best place to begin would be a recap of last week, which would mostly be about the interesting conversation that our Thin Bloods had with a lupine in a forest, which I imagine the sheer terror of it and the fact that she didn't instantly rip your arms off as she became aware of the fact that you're not actually that powerful within the city made her relax, but also made her interested in a suspicious way as she began to ask you the locations of kindred domains and havens, which you gladly gave out.
Yeah, gladly.
Okay. Florence gladly gave out.
I gave one location, and that is the warehouse where I stashed the dead police officer person, Inspector.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you did. So,
Just for the record.
That conversation ended with Nate shooting at a lupine, Loki kneecapping a lupine, and everyone fucking scattering. Because, as usual, the only time they're competent is when they're running for their lives. It
That
works.
explains why they're still alive. I was wondering that.
Welcome to Bloodlust EE.
No one here.
Can my character just turn the car around right now? I'm wondering.
I have a bad feeling.
I think we shall begin with a small vignette of Ferris vaudeville. A well-to-do fancy man about town. Where does Ferris begin his night?
He's probably in a bar trying to get a drink. You know, just enjoying life now, or unlife as it may be. There's less competition, there's more space, people are still out and about. It's hunting season.
Yeah, the bar you're in is a bit of a dive. It used to be your sire's. But, drinks flow, people arrive, all of them in heavy goth makeup and clothes, but I don't think you care, do you?
No, not really.
Okay. So you take the select few that you enjoy the look of. What is Ferris's preference?
The pretty ones.
There are many pretty ones. Mostly younger men and women visiting this bar. But youth has its advantages. And one of them is being able to turn your head. So you invite a bunch of young people back to the private room, and you gorge yourself. Yeah?
Nom, 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 nom. Yep. I'm gonna just drink like there's no tomorrow.
Okay. So when you're done, you send them away, half dazed. You go up to Angelica's office. And basically it's a mess. It hasn't been touched since she disappeared. Since she burned. But a stack of papers you find, and you read through, maybe you don't really pay attention to them all, but it's fairly obvious that your clan's rightful and long-held laws instilled by your foresires are being infringed upon. Every personal note written in this fine flowing hand of Angelica's is railing against Bradley Grimald, the Von True Primogen. And you've had maybe a run-in with Bradley before. You've definitely seen him at the Elysium parties at the castle. But mostly he's been out of your way. Because from what you can tell, he's a political player, and up until recently, you have been a physical enforcer. You've played your games. But I would like to know what Ferris begins working on to retain his rights within the city.
Well, since I'm currently in a bar that is now mine, and by Toreador right, all entertainment establishments in the domain are hunting grounds and feeding grounds for Toreador, and Bradley's been infringing on that, I think the time has come to take him down a peg or two. And to do that, I will need people. I need to find a couple of people lower on the totem pole than me, ideally, to be able to persuade, manipulate, pay, into helping me against him.
Okay. So, some time goes by, you search around, you even maybe turn up at one of the premises that Bradley Grimald is purchased. You find a grisly scene in one of the back rooms as you sneak around of a dead, decaying woman and a series of glass tubes, some of them filled with brown, dead blood, useless. And so you begin to dig, and you find a connection between whoever used to work here and Bradley. Whoever used to work here was a Thin-Blood. You don't know their name. But to find out all the information you do need, where better to go than to a Nosferatu?
Makes complete sense.
So, Ferris, after a little bit more time, makes his way to an arranged meeting point and sees a very attractive woman in a polo neck who meets you and leads you through a wall and into sandstone caves, where I imagine you see an old woman, basically swathed, swaddled in lots of hoods and clothes, who just meets you in this place and is like, Oh, hello, dearie.
Oh, hello. My name is Ferris Vaudeville. I was wondering if you
It's
had...
a pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you, too. I was told you had information.
Oh, me. Not personally, but I can get you in contact with some people. I've got a wonderful young man who might be able to help you out. His name, Loki. He's a good chap. You know, give me a minute, and I'll go fetch him for you. So, Loki, for you, it has been a few days hiding out in the Nosferatu Haven. And in the interim time, Florence has called up Nate and been like, we found a safe place from the werewolves. If you want to come and stay here, you should probably come. It's not safe out there. Which is what she sounds like.
Yes.
So, Nate, I'm assuming you come and meet Florence and Loki at the Nosferatu domain. But before you do, a package falls through the letterbox of Loki's safe house. It's probably the right word.
If it's from the investigator, it's the basement safe house.
Mm-hmm.
It depends which. It depends which safe house and who's dropping it off.
A package drops through the letterbox
Of the apartment.
Of the apartment, and it does on it, Nate, say Repario Investigations.
That dickhead. Okay. Cool.
And would you open something? It does say low key on it.
You 100% know that Nate's gonna open this.
Yeah, he would open it, especially if it came straight to the apartment. He would just assume that Loki knew that he was staying at the apartment, and he intended to send it to me. So yeah, he'd open it.
Loki, in future, just post glitter bombs with your name on.
Yeah.
Or those little blue ink explosion bombs that you find in
they have,
money.
like, money bags in. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Nate, you rip open the top of this manila postage stamp, postage letter thing, and
Package.
Inside is basically a series of photos of a fancy looking man with very nice hair, looking a little gaunt, and just the surname Vaudeville ? At the top. It's just like lists off a possible relationship between him seemingly inheriting from Angelica things as a result of the fire. And it's like, update, this man has an inheritance motive for the fire ? Also never goes out during the day. WTF. Hang on, let me get my notes. What does he...
Bless him, he's still working.
He's still working. He's still working, Loki.
Yeah.
You didn't ask him to work.
I didn't tell him to stop, to be fair.
Yeah, it's like will inherit Green Rose Modeling Incorporated. Possible link to multiple murder cold cases. Shut down under mysterious circumstances. Who the fuck is this guy? Dangerous, underlined, scribbled a lot. And so, you then get the invitation from Florence to come and meet at the Nosferatu Haven which brings us to this coming scene.
Okay. Can I just forward all of that information to my contact?
Absolute asshole.
Oh, joy. Yes, you can.
I'll leave out that it was like for Loki, but I'm like, hey, this guy might be a person of interest.
Taking all the credit as well.
Of course.
You do this in a series of long texts, I imagine.
Just in case he's another Suichi moment that I should kill but shouldn't kill.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, do you ask a question, or are you just like, this is the information?
Yeah, maybe this isn't the information, and then be like, I just said the word like trust ? Because I remember, didn't he say last time I could ask him if I was like, if I should trust people or not? Should I be aware of like, maybe not trust. Let's say.
No, I was just thinking about the answer to if you should trust him. If you just say, should I trust? The answer is, you should never trust anyone fully. But if you cross his path, he would be useful.
Okay, yeah. I would have, yeah. Whatever I asked, I would have got, yeah.
This man may be your key. Do you understand?
Oh, okay. Yes. I think Nate would like reply yes, and then he would like haphazardly repackage the package with like sellotape or something
Sellotape.
and leave it at the apartment.
Oh. Okay. Cool. So that brings us to the current scene where Loki, Nate, Florence comes to collect you, and then she's like, I'm just off to do my job, but I'll catch you all later. There's a nice young man sitting in I think he's after your help, Loki.
Florence, you say everyone's a nice young man.
He's a nice young man. He's very well presented.
What does he want?
Oh, he wants information. They all want information around here. You know that.
Right, okay. And he wants to talk to me?
I said he'd best talk to you, yes.
Okay, and you just gave him this information without checking with me first? Just...
Why would I need to check with you? I'm busy.
I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't tell people my name until I say it's okay.
Your name isn't Loki, and we know that.
But still, it's the name I go by.
Just call you Dave from now on? Is that what you want?
I'm gonna go and talk to this man, okay?
Okay, Nate, keep him company. He looks a little suspicious. But good night. Good.
I mean, you understand, don't you, Nate? Like, she just said she said he looked suspicious, and yet gave him my name.
Well, Florence doesn't do, it's not my problem. Okay. But as soon as Loki like walks ahead, he's gonna be like, I'm definitely gonna give you this like worst spy like gestures ever.
So yeah, I'll go and present myself to this person who now has my name and is interested in me.
Mm-hmm. And Nate's gonna follow behind, kind of like, yeah, we're together kind of gang, but like not let like Loki aware of the situation. He's gonna like hang back and like.
Did Florence give me his name? Because I should have asked for his name if I'm gonna go see him. Wait, did he give Florence his name? I don't think he did.
No, I don't think he did he?
No.
I did.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, you did. My mistake. Yeah, she would have given you his name.
And it's Vaudeville?
Vaudeville, yes.
Vaudeville. So I'd walk up. I assume you are Mr. Vaudeville?
Oh, hello. You must be Low-Key.
Yes, yes, I am.
Interesting name. And are you the one able to help me? I hear you have information.
information for a price.
Like, I catch sight of Nate behind you. What sort of price?
Depends what sort of information, really. I can do investigative work. I can ferret out secrets. I may already have information you'd be interested in.
All the while he's speaking, it's like,
Vaudeville eyes Nate especially then. Well, particularly of interest of Bradley Grimold. There was a premise that one of your kind was found at.
What do I know about Bradley Grimold?
Make me a roll.
Ooh,
Just
yay.
pick one, you know?
Any roll.
Strength plus
Oh no.
performance.
Oh
how much about Bradley?
I imagine with the Nosferatu being kind of underground, I probably had some form of dealings with him. Probably not directly, but
Yeah, you've probably heard the name Grimold, especially as you spend a lot of time talking to Nosferatu. But overall, you only know that he's like a business vampire. That's
would this be more politics than streetwise?
yeah, probably.
So politics, I don't know, manipulation, intelligence, wits.
Intelligence, politics.
Okay. No. Probably nothing more than the
Two successes gets you like he's a big player. Like people mention him in hushed tones. He is definitely important within the Kindred Society, although you're not entirely sure what for. People seem to go and ask him for things.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I've obviously heard of him. I have seen his fingerprints about the city, but I've never been asked to directly investigate him, so I don't have anything off the top of my head I can give you.
Well, in particular, I want to know about a Thin-Blood who was found at one of his premises with some interesting vials.
Okay.
And any extra information you have on him would be beneficial.
Okay. Do you have a name or description of said Thin-Blood?
No, just a body.
Body. Okay. Well, do you have the body still, or?
I'm assuming I don't, Josh, because it was on one of his premises.
If you would like to have taken the body with you, you can try.
I probably wouldn't have. I'm not one to carry a body around. I might have got my retainer to do it for me.
Entirely possible. Yes. It would have been difficult, so if you would ask her to do that, I'm going to roll for her to see if she is successful.
If it was going to be difficult, I probably wouldn't have got her to do it.
What does she do? I mean, for her, it's definitely possible. So
Okay. If it's possible for her, if she says she can do it out of letter.
she cannot do it. She probably gets a vial of blood, because she would know that would be important to a kindred. But beyond that, she couldn't move the body because of like how obvious it would have been that, like, for the exit, it would have been a tough one, and she can't just disappear like some.
No. Well, I don't have the body, but I have a vial of blood from it.
From the body or from the that
From
they
the body.
had already? Okay. Well, would you like me to identify the Thin-Bloods to find out more about them, or where were they found?
Which premise was it exactly?
It was a place called the Brass Monkey.
The Brass Monkey.
Okay, and that was, I believe, where Mr. Brass, his headquarters were?
You, I think, probably knew that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, that I do know about the place. I think it's been abandoned for a while since Mr. Brass disappeared. Yeah, I mean, I can look into this for you if you like. I'm currently kind of between domiciles slightly. We've been pursued by a lupine, werewolf, so we had to hide out here.
My, don't you get around?
Well, you know, investigative work takes you all kinds of places. I look back at Nate with a very slightly accusatory glance.
And Nate just like smiles, like, and all kinds of people too.
Yeah.
And like,
All kinds of interesting events, I imagine, as well.
Situations, events, arguments, sure.
All kind of influences you meet. Very well.
So, this doesn't sound like too difficult of a job. Obviously, if it gets more difficult, then the price will go up. But let's say a light favor.
Tell you what, you're between domiciles right now.
I have domiciles. I'm just not confident enough to stay there right now.
I can put you up in a bit of a better domicile. Give you some reasonable lodgings at a relatively high-class establishment.
I don't worry too much about high class. It's more security.
Did you mention that you were being chased by a lupine, Loki?
Yeah.
Ferris, you're fairly confident you could, at the very least, distract a lupine.
How about in the mean case, while you investigate, I'll stick around, and should this lupine show up, I will talk its ear off.
Yeah, no, if you can deal with the lupine, then absolutely. This sounds like a great deal.
Very well. And I hold my hand out to shake.
Put my hand out to shake. Shake.
Shake. And then I turn to Nate and hold my hand out. I don't believe we've been properly introduced.
ah, yes, Nathaniel. He like grabs your hand, like real like classy, because he has that like etiquette thing, and he does his little, like brief little nod and tries to be his best little vamp boy.
Ooh, you
Nice
know
to
what?
meet your
Do me a
acquaintance.
charisma etiquette roll.
Yes. Wait, this is down here. Watch me like get a bestial failure.
Or just a straight up failure.
Let's reroll. Let's reroll.
I would suggest not re-rolling. I don't want you to waste willpower on something for.
I mean, do you want to impress me or not?
That's
Yeah.
a good point.
Yeah, I think he does want to impress you a little bit. Because it like, does Nate recognize him?
Ooh, do me
Ooh.
a intelligence wits roll.
Okay.
I think that's probably good.
There we go.
Ooh, 4 successes. When you look at Ferris, there's a mixture of like a cocktail of emotions associated with the face of Ferris. But you're not sure who he is. You just know that you recognize Ferris. And at one point, you feel like a tinge of positive predisposition, but also maybe there's fear in there. Maybe there's a sexual element as well.
And he's attractive, right?
He is stunning.
Yeah,
Ferris
Nate is
is-
all about this. Nate is, we're going to have to reroll because Nate would be all up in that girl.
Okay.
That's
You've got 3 to reroll.
Oh,
There we go.
That is 2 successes. Ferris,
He'll take it.
that's not a terrible start.
That's more than most Thin-Bloods. Very nice to meet you.
Mr. Vaudeville, if I may ask, how difficult was it for you to gain access here?
Not difficult at all.
I asked around. I know a few people. I'm sure you can understand that a man in my position can get in a few places without too much hassle. But if you're worrying about lupine, I don't think the old lady would be the biggest impediment.
Okay. Well, yeah. I am happy to be on board working for you. How would you like to do this?
Yeah, we're both more than willing to help you.
Absolutely.
Definitely gives Nate a once up and down. Well, I can show you to the establishment if you so wish. I believe my Rolls is waiting outside.
Okay, yes. Good. Well, that is a great start. And then we can, I can draw up some plans to uncover this Thin-Blood mystery for you. And
It would be a start. Any extra information you could get on Bradley Grimold would be most advantageous.
of course. Well, I am all prepared and ready. Just let me stick my thing on if we're going outside. Loki's not attractive, by the way. He's got holes in his cheeks. Like there, you can see his teeth. Hence the mask. And I'm good to go.
Nate is completely not willing to go. He's lingering. He's trying to like stall. Just stay in your presence a little bit more.
I believe we're going with Ferris to.
But then like Nate will like probably like hang behind, try and like walk as close to him as he can, like, you know, more
Yep.
close to him than Loki.
Ferris like wraps his cane on the ground twice and turns around, twiddles it, and walks out to meet his retainer with his new entourage in tow.
Oh, absolutely. Juliet is waiting there dutifully in front of the rolls, opens the door and is like, "Where to, sir?"
I believe to the Brass Monkey. My friends were going to have a bit of a look around.
Nate.
As you wish, sir.
Nate.
There was a message for you. And you
Nate
hear
is like totally sorry.
you hear clinking off in the distance. I mean, like these conversations would be going on at the same time, but
Yeah.
you hear it like a clinking going on in the distance. And she hands you over a note on a piece of scruffy paper, and you open it, and it says, "If you want a favor from me, I have a target. We can discuss this later if required. Mr. Gates." And you know that Mr. Gates is a rather unpopular Nosferatu, and seemed to have a rather... There was something going on between him and Angelica, you don't know what. But he always turned up, wherever she went.
I glance back towards the two Thin-Bloods. I'm going to put the note in my pocket.
Nate.
Yeah, if you're calling Nate, it's probably gonna take a little while because Nate is like staring right at that ass, like 100% enamored. He'll probably like give you a roll and be like, "Yeah,
Mate, he's so cool.
I know, right? It's like
Notice me.
Wow, he got in here with no. And do you know how much effort I had to put in to get into this place? And he just walked in.
I know. You had me traipsing through the sewers.
That was look, there's nothing wrong with the sewers. Right? Let's not just
Like the venom in his voice.
like the sewers have kept me safe for a long, long time. Okay, let's not go overboard. But it's impressive.
While they're speaking, Ferris is going to sit like the door open, feet out of the car on the car seat, and change his boots so that he's now got his nice shoes on because he wasn't going to wear his nice shoes into the Nosferatu Haven.
Absolutely, no, it's filthy in there. Dusty. More than anything, it's dusty. But
I considered putting the little like booties on you get for like
yeah.
stuff, but that might have been a bit too far.
It went too far, and it would have ruined the look.
Yeah, it ruined the ensemble.
However, your retainer, she closes the door. She opens another side door for Loki and Nate to get into, and just waits for the two of you to have this conversation.
Yeah, Nate, like as soon as he sees the door open, he's gonna walk ahead. Maybe pay as much respect to the retainer a little bit, just to kind of like the retainer is like his property, so he's gonna like try and make a good impression, you know.
Fair enough.
But he's definitely gonna get in before Loki.
Loki's hesitant to get in because he is dirty and he's been wandering around a Nosferatu cave for.
Give me 1 second. Juliet, can you get the tarp out the back?
Yes, sir. Pops the boot open, blue tarp, spreads over the seat that's remaining for Loki, like folds it over a few times and just like puts it over the back and the seat and a little bit like on the floor even. Like.
Okay, good. I was worried I was going to get wrapped in the boot. Thank you.
That's an option if you'd like.
No, I'm fine, thank you.
We've done it before.
I think I can keep everything clean.
As you wish.
I am going to precariously sit as still as possible so I don't mess up this car.
And Nate's gonna try to do the same. Like he's gonna fold his legs in a way that they fold towards the tarp, so that his shoes don't actually touch the bottom of the car.
I will
try and not make it obvious.
I will foot fight you for space on the tarp.
So Juliet goes round to the front and has one of those cute little driver's hats on, puts that on and moves away. And is there any conversation you'd like to have out in the car?
I don't suppose you two would mind a short stop first. You might cause a bit of a scene, considering you've been underground for a while.
Sure. No, that's...
Yes, we'd be very grateful.
Can we pop to my tailor's?
Yes, you can.
Are you going to play dress up Barbie with Loki?
Yes. I'm going to dress both of you up.
Okay.
Juliet just leans around and is like, to the tailor's?
Yes, that would be beneficial, I think.
Yes, sir. And she makes a quick detour and goes down this expensive looking street with like wooden archways and they're like an arcade going off of it. And on one corner there's this beautifully laid out shop front tailor's dummies in it and, you know, the measuring tapes and all that draped around stuff. And I'm assuming you all go straight in?
Yep.
Yeah, Nate will definitely follow close behind. Not so much Loki, but he will be taking all that in.
Loki's a little bit hesitant because he is now 100% out of his element. And he's wearing basically this jean jacket, hoodie, and a mask, and like just jeans. So
you should
he looks
probably
out of place
on while they do the fitting.
Very, very out of place.
And as we're doing like the fitting, like one person goes up and gets fitted and the other one sits down on the bench next to me, I'm just going to have some like gentle chit chat with Nate and sort of feel out like, who is Nate? What's he doing? What kind of person is he?
Okay. This is where Nate is going to scramble. Because I don't think he's wants to, like, reveal his, like, fame a little bit. So maybe he'll just allude to the fact that he's an influencer and just say that, like, he's really big on, like, Twitter or something. And, like, say that
he
he's,
goes
like...
to all those influencer parties and gatherings.
Yeah. I used to a little bit of modeling. Not to, toot my own horn or anything.
Oh, I can imagine. Anything.
While Nate is just like slowly, like not even like leaning closer to him, but he would have sat like as close as possible without seeming weird.
Yeah.
I'm paying attention to Ferris like he's the only person in the room.
Anything other interesting happen at these events?
You could say that that's where I became me. I think that Nate will go into like the story of how like he was like promised this big spiel about how like he could be the top whatever, and then he was brought to this like seedy hotel presidential suite or whatever and just turned and left.
As soon as you start describing that story, Nate, the memory comes back, the feelings that erupt within you as you replay this story in your mind like a video. The fuzziness, the uncertain elements of your feelings, not only about what exactly happened that night, you're normally recounting it as like a second-hand observer, but right now the feelings well up inside you, and the grey clouds around the face of the person who promised you all those things is made clear. And as you're looking at that person in your memory and you transition to thinking about the real world, the images overlap, and Ferris's face is the only one you can think about.
Okay. Well, if that is happening, Nate would probably like not even be able to like conceal it on his face. Maybe he would just put two and two together, and then I think he'd fall silent and be like, I used to hate the person who did that, but now I'm thinking what they gave me is a gift that I'm very grateful for. And Nate still would not stop his like Googling, like he would like soaking everything out there. He don't care.
Well, that's one way to put it. Another might say that circumstance was somewhat manipulative in the extreme.
We all do a little bit of manipulation though, don't we?
Yes, preferably by one's own will, rather than at the point of a bond. At least you're enjoying your own life.
It has its perks.
I walk out of the dressing room. What am I dressed in?
A fairly ostentatious blue suit.
Oh, okay.
An old woman, kind of crotchety sounding, is like fiddling at you with like the old woman fingers that like dig into your soul as they like move pins around, and she's, hold still, you stupid man. Look, I can't make this fit you properly if you don't stop moving, so just leave it there. Hold, or I will stick you again.
You have to be careful. She is quite vicious.
Ferris, yes, he knows.
Okay. Thank you for the suit, I think it is. And the new mask is really nice as well, thank you. It's a lot less obvious.
Yes. I tried to make him take it off Ferris, but he's a very private person. Is no conversation at all.
Terrible burn scars.
They'd have to be.
Nathan's just going to chime in and be like, yeah, he doesn't get out very much. I mean, forgive him. Just trying to fit in. It's like trying to throw Loki under the bus.
Well, this is a lovely conversation, Nate. I believe you're up now.
Come with me, young man.
Of course. And Nathan's already going to maybe take off his jacket, maybe even start unbuttoning whatever he's wearing. Just while he's getting up, not even ashamed, just like he's proud to model. He does whatever he
low-key clap, just like well,
like whenever he looks good in clothes, he's gonna be okay.
And I'll sit down on the bench. Well, I see it's on the bench. It's probably something nice.
Low-key.
Yes, sir.
Sir, wow, awfully formal.
Well, employers, also people who are very clearly, in terms of power and influence, higher on me in the totem role, on the rung, generally tend to get a sir.
Well, I'm not going to tell you to stop, but surprising. I was directed to a Nosferatu and I came to you. It's unusual for someone so young to be so important. I know times have changed around here, but you've managed to make the best for yourself.
Well, with the main disappearance of most of the Nosferatu, there's a bit of a gap in information and things like that gathering, so I guess I kind of filled the hole for a while.
Do you ever do any active work?
Sometimes. It depends on who's asking and what they're asking.
Have you ever killed anybody?
Yes.
Do you know a person by the name of Gates?
Mr. Gates?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm very, unfortunately, intimate with him.
In a good or a bad manner?
Bad. Very bad. Mr. Gates is almost like a watchdog. While the rest of the Nosferatu have been keeping their heads down, he's been their face around the city. And he has a lot of influence over me. Therefore, I do jobs for him.
Interesting. Does he think you're competent?
He hasn't killed me yet. Which, if you know Mr. Gates, kind of a glowing reference.
What do you know about the death of the previous primogen of the Toreador clan?
Quite a lot. I was asked to look into it by Mr. Gates. If you're interested in it, I wasn't told to keep the information to myself, so we can work out a deal for the whole package, parts of information you might need.
I glance at Nate. I'm quite happy with the package I've got. But I'll consider it.
Nate definitely smirks and the eyes go down and then they go back up.
Either way, ding dong, the bitch is dead, I say.
I never knew her, so I cannot comment one way or the other as to her character.
That's an awfully professional opinion.
The baton of power passes around the city so much it pays not to speak ill or good of anyone, unless you're in their presence.
Gonna go far, kid.
Oh, hopefully.
Let's see what the baton lands. Nate, you look simply ravishing.
Yeah, if Nate has had any time alone with this girl and she's not putting in something ravishing, he would like dominated the shit out of her and been like, like good.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. What would I mean, you would get way more control over exactly what you're dressed in than Loki ever will. So, it's your choice. You get fancy suit.
Yes. Like he comes out and he's like, yeah, he'll do a toss and a turn for like Ferris, but like specifically like just turn a little bit and maybe puff out his chest a little bit. She's like, you think so? I don't know about this, the cut. And he was specific, like, because he knows like his clothes from like doing cosplay and whatever.
Maybe go around a couple more times.
Mm-hmm. And he would like slowly like take a little bit of a walk.
I think that'll do.
It's just chuffed. Like his whole face like beams, and he's like, not really much saying anything. I think he would like do maybe a gaze at Loki and be like, "Why am I?"
Well,
stop this.
to give you an idea of how Loki looks, think Adam Sandler in The Wedding Singer.
Yeah, no.
In The Wedding Singer, Adam Sandler has like a blue suit on.
I do think once Nate is ready, though, he would like go straight over to Ferris, stand next to him, especially because like it's kind of making sense in his brain. So he would just screw it. He's hot and he's horny.
Well, I pull out like a black aluminium card of some kind and hand it over.
Nate definitely takes it, his fit like in like I want to say in a way that like his fingers will definitely brush against Ferris' hands, like it's like connect over this card even for a second, and then he'll take the card and just like tuck it inside. Thank you.
Right. Shall we get on to more pressing business?
The body, I'm assuming.
Unless you also fancy something a little bit more active.
No, body, dead body sounds good to me about now, or where it was at least.
I assume that you and Nate work together a lot.
It's not enough. It's a love-hate relationship.
And do you work closely together on some of your more pressing concerns?
We've had each other's back then again.
Yeah.
We definitely cover for our deficiencies anyway. When he says deficiencies, he definitely glances straight at you.
He did distract a werewolf for us to help us get
Wouldn't be
away.
in the market for a heart, would you?
Yeah, Nate, where have you stored that heart?
That is in the freezer in that apartment back there.
Okay.
You put it in my freezer?
That was
You've
definitely
got
in the freezer.
a giant werewolf heart and other parts. I can't remember what you got now, but you definitely got a heart.
I think it was like a teeth or a claw. It was like one or the other.
Teeth and a heart and something else. Yeah.
You know when you put up a friend of the family for a couple of days and they're
And
like,
then they move all their dead like bits of werewolf in. It's the
and they go through your mail and they put their feet up on the coffee table. Like, this is Nate. This is what Nate is.
Exactly. You don't know that there's a werewolf heart in your freezer yet.
No,
That's going to be an interesting one.
Well, I can't say I'm not disinterested, but I have more pressing concerns rather than some butcher's offcuts.
Basically what they are. Okay. So the three of you would like to go to the Brass Monkey?
Yeah.
Okay.
While we're in the car, I tell Juliet to get the details that we might consider the job.
Okay. She says she will drop you off and then return to the meeting point. And then return to you as soon as possible. So, the Brass Monkey is a cocktail bar. It's relatively active at this time of night, and you are certainly the best three dressed in there, but everyone else is still in their, fine dresses and suits and, smart casual stuff, kind of after work. And all three of you try and make your way to where Ferris leads you, straight through to basically the back of the bar. I would like you all to make wits awareness rolls. Nate gets 3. Loki gets 3.
Oh, did I roll? Oh, there we go. 0.
Ferris has other things in mind, but...
There's a lot of pretty people in here.
Yeah.
Very distracting.
Probably why Nate is like so aware. He's aware of those pretty people and he's gonna fight for his place.
That's fair. That's
You
fair.
just intercept them all going, no, keep back.
So this is interesting. From Loki's perspective, you move through the bar relatively unhindered. However, Loki notices in his paranoid state, he's, it verges from, was that someone looking at me to, okay, I'm fairly certain they're keeping an eye on me. There's one person in the corner of the bar that's either, you can't tell whether they're a patron or someone works there because of the way they're moving. They seem to slip between the two. Nate also notices this, but additionally, he is aware that this person, after noticing that they're looking at him and the others, is definitely... Yeah, that's definitely the woman that I asked directions for to get to Bradley previous. Yeah, that's someone who worked at the town hall. That's weird. She's watching you.
I don't want to alarm anyone, but I'm pretty sure we're being watched.
Well, with me and Nate in the room, that was going to be obvious. I assume you mean a little bit more of a dangerous fashion.
I would not say for definitely yes, but almost definitely yes.
I mean, you do stand out.
I'm going to change the direction of the party. I'm going to walk directly up to whoever indicates is watching us.
Oh, my hand's going into my jacket where my gun is.
Nate is gonna put his hands in his pockets, be arrogant. He's just gonna walk like he deserves to be beside Ferris right now. Like they're like y'all are just jealous.
Okay. I guess Loki, Nate, do you point out this woman to Ferris?
Oh, I would have been like, I think we're being watched, and kind of jerk my head over towards where...
Nate would not have noticed at all. Like he would have seen the person, but if Loki's gonna like take the bait for this, then he's more than willing to like do it. He doesn't want to like call Wolf.
Loki's been attacked by wolves enough to just call Wolf.
Okay. Ferris, you start walking up to this woman and she picks up a drink and sits down at a table. She seems to be in office clothes, like smart suit, pencil skirt sort of things, and glasses. Say something or I'll keep going. No, and she just she sits there, so like the onus is on you. Like if you stand right in front of her and don't say anything, she just kind of looks you up and down
I'm going to sit down opposite her.
in appreciation. Okay. She still continues to say nothing.
Sorry, I couldn't help but see you staring at me and my companions a minute ago. I was just wondering, which of us were you checking out?
She blushes a little, and her eyes flick between Nate and Ferris and says, two of you are particularly interesting looking.
Rude.
I'm sure you boys can handle yourself. She doesn't bite, I'm sure.
Only if you ask me to. And then she giggles.
Introduce yourselves, boys. The name's Ferris.
Nice to meet you, Ferris. I'm Amanda.
I think Nate will definitely like next up. He'll like put his hand forward and then say like, Nathaniel.
She
Interesting.
She takes it. It's like, so what brings you here this evening?
Oh, just looking.
Oh, okay. Well, it's nice to see you here. She's lost for words as she looks you up and down, and it's like, I hope you've found what you're looking for.
What do you think? Is this something that we're looking for? Looking towards Loki and Nate.
Nate like gazes straight back and he's like, I think I found what I'm looking for. Totally not abashedly like shy.
So funny.
Maybe the girl thinks he's talking about her. He's not.
I was under the impression we were looking for something else, but
Oh, well, that's a shame. Maybe I can help you find it.
no, you're okay.
No. Don't dissuade a pretty lady like that so easily.
I'm assuming you're here for business and not pleasure.
Why can't we have both?
Well, she looks at her watch. I can't leave here till 10, but if there's something you want, then you're willing to ask. I'm not aware of exactly who you are, Mr. Ferris, but Nate. Who told you about this place?
Oh, I think he would look at Ferris and be like, "It's a group night."
Oh, well, I hope you enjoy your time here, because I'm fairly certain that your boss didn't mention it to you.
Question?
Yes, dear?
He introduced himself as Nathaniel. How did you know he prefers to be called Nate?
You look like you've stumped her there. Like,
And with that, I'm just going to take her hand. I'm going to kiss it. You've been quite enchanting. Thank you very much for all the information you've provided. Shall we have a little bit more look around, boys?
wait, what?
Yes, sir.
No. Do you leave
Nate's
after that? Ferris.
Nate's gonna be unfazed. He's just gonna be like,
I would like you to make a charisma plus performance or persuasion roll for depending on exactly what result, plus your points in attractiveness.
Okay, and plus or, I assume.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, cool.
4 successes. Okay. How come you're not rolling hunger dice?
Oh, I think I'm at hunger 0.
Okay. Hang on. Let's take a look. No, you are. Yeah, you're at hunger 0. You should be at hunger 1.
Okay, cool.
The only person here at hunger 0 is Nate.
Still, it's been like 4 episodes. He refuses to get hunger.
But that's because they fed when I didn't need to multiple times.
You know what? It's been a little bit of time, so I'm going to need both Loki and Nate to make rouse checks for waking up. Loki's fine. Nate. Oh no, neither of you are fine. So you both go up 1 hunger.
Oh, Ferris.
I entirely forgot about that.
I can tell Nate is hungry.
Yeah.
I think no, he's thirsty.
Yeah, I get
that's
this
the one.
confused.
Okay. So you kiss her hand, Ferris, and she stammers and breath comes out but no words, and you just kind of leave her there stunned for a little bit. If you both you all intended on just leaving?
Following
If Ferris leaves, I will. Yep.
We can always come back later, just do the drive-by and find out whatever we want, and if we need her, we can come back.
Like I lost control of this ship ages ago. Like it's just
No, it was such a
all over
good
the
line.
place.
Loki had that perfect line. And then we're just like, you know what? Bail now. Leave us stunned.
Oh.
All right then. And you head to the back. Okay. So you go through the back, up some stairs, and one of the doors definitely been busted in previous. This is the room that you've previously found the corpse in. And so, what do the 3 of you do in there?
Is it empty?
Yeah. What can we see?
Loki and Nate, you've not been here before, have you? No. So the three of you see an old woman on a table with stuff pushed outside. What's the word? Blood transfusion cable sticking out of her in various places, and going over to another table where they're just kind of draped over, and among like boiling tubes and various glassware for chemistry, you assume, are books and notes stacked on high. And that's basically it. Ferris. I need to look at the thing. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Okay, roll me 4 dice.
Ah, it's that you're looking for.
Yes. One success. Something about this place makes you uneasy, but apart from that, it could just be the smell.
Let me just check. Is forcing that a rouse check?
No.
In which case, I will force it. And I'm gonna try and lift the veil and see what I can see around me.
Okay. That is resolve plus Auspex. And Loki and Nate, I think you see Ferris look a little distracted as he begins to move slightly fluidly through the space. 2 successes. 2 successes gets you a slightly stronger feeling. You can almost smell the emotions from this room? No, the woman.
I can smell the emotions on the woman.
A weird kind of synesthesia.
This woman has some very strong emotions. You can practically taste them in here.
I don't know what that means.
I think Nate won't say anything really. He'll like just nod and kind of like maybe approach the old woman, not touch her, but just kind of like give her like a once or twice over, just see if she like her eyes for like, you know, because he saw the corpse before. With I think he would like look for those kind of signs just to make sure that it wasn't like.
Okay, intelligence plus medicine. One success. It's a corpse.
Oh, she is dead? Okay.
It's a woman. She's probably between 70 and 80 and don't have much blood.
Poor thing. Live so long only to go out like this.
There are probably worse ways to go out.
Nate just like smirks and then smirks his face as he like thinks about Suichi.
So are all entertainment establishments in the city meant to be owned or at least fed on only by Toreador, or is it Toreador allowed and other people overlap?
Toreador give permission. It's normally exclusive though, unless you're a friend of a Toreador. So whoever fed here did it illegally, and whatever their plan was caused something unnatural to happen.
Someone's been feeding here. Someone who shouldn't have.
Isn't that basically everyone?
No. The rules of domains, my dear Nosferatu Thin. Clan Toreador lays claim to all of the entertainment establishments in this fair city. And only friends or people allowed by said Toreador are allowed to eat in these establishments. You have my permission. This person probably did not.
Is it definite that they weren't Toreador?
There aren't many of us left in this city.
Okay.
Either there's someone new in town, in which case I deeply want to get to know them. Or someone's feeding illegally, in which case someone's pushing in on territory they should not be.
And this is where you found the Thin-Blood body, correct?
Yes, previously.
Oh, I think I might have confused you a little. So there was hearsay and evidence that whoever might have been here was a Thin-Blood.
Okay.
And the body that you saw was this body, this old woman.
Okay.
And is the blood
this
from
is the body. The blood I took is from this woman.
Okay. So do you think someone's leaving a message, or?
Well, I don't see why you would use an IV.
Someone was trying something. Her emotions were unusually bitter.
So it may not have been a feeding, because there are Thin-Bloods and kindred who can mess with alchemy and blood, and
It's possible someone's drained her blood. That's all I can tell you. We took a sample.
well, I mean, I think there's only one place I can think of to go ask about this type of thing, and I don't believe Nate has met him yet. I have someone we could go and talk to about this. He is not an information broker like me, but he does meet many different people. If there's someone messing around with blood, he'll probably know about it. Trying to think of what a... Yeah, okay. Seeing as you've been so kind to extend to us a few
Very kind.
yes, very kind, to extend to us your offer of hospitality and protection. I'm not overly hesitant to introduce you to one of my contacts. We're going to have to go and meet Bubbles.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to do here before you leave?
Nate will definitely look around. Maybe like, can he like lift up her eyelids? Just check, see if her eyes are like.
Yeah, I think that probably came under the medicine roll you did.
Okay, perfect. So she's just normal corpse then.
She's definitely not a normal corpse. There's something desiccated about her, but not rotted.
Not the usual signs, kind of.
It's not the usual signs. If you spend more time on this, then, like, you don't know how long she's been here. It's either been a very, very long time, in which case she's mummified. That seems unlikely. Or it's been, like, a couple of hours.
Okay.
But that doesn't seem likely because Ferris came here probably a day or so ago.
Mr. Vaudeville, is this your establishment or is this just part of your domain?
It's not your establishment.
Not one of my establishments, but it does fall under the license of an entertainment venue inside this fair city.
Well, we could probably come back later and get rid of the body, if you like, or if this doesn't come under your name, then we can just leave it here.
I don't mind you leaving it here, other than the breach of the masquerade it may cause. But that's whoever left it here in the first place's problem.
Well, there's a few people now who know about it, and most likely anyone wishing to pin something on you could say that you knew about it but left it there, and it'd be better to get rid of it if you have enemies who want to
why I brought you to.
darken your name.
Now I have two more witnesses who I can corroborate with.
We're not really important enough to be decent witnesses, but I'm happy to back up your story. It seems to be true.
You're not important enough. I was directed directly to you as someone who could provide information.
Oh, I'm known enough if someone needs information, they come to me, but in terms of social, political standing, I'm nothing.
Well, you and Nate seem to be capable enough. At least certainly so far, I've no reason to doubt your abilities. Maybe you deserve more than this as your lot in life.
Not 100% going to disagree with that, but can sometimes be hard to get out from under certain people.
Or sometimes people just go up in flames.
And sometimes it's nice to be under people too.
Put my mask back on.
Oh, good lord. Okay. Nate, you said you were looking around?
Yes. You know that you said there was an IV attached to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can I would I find anything else separate that? Like if I followed it, like is there anything weird about like the things that it's connected to?
Okay, so at the other end of the IV attachment, you
Would I recognize what it is?
do me another medicine intelligence roll.
One.
It was definitely attached to a machine, and then there are other cables or tubes that appear to have not be directly connected to this one, but they've also got blood in them and little needles on the ends. Like there's signs of transfusion here, and little else. They don't lead anywhere apart from maybe little pools of blood.
Oh. Is there any ID on her? I think Nate would definitely like rummage around her like pockets and stuff if she's wearing anything. No, she's just a naked lady on the like.
No, she is clothed. You look around. You find a you find a purse. And it says... oh god. I do have her name here. I will find it.
Oh, I'm gonna shoot you a DM, by the way.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Because I need to ask something, but I don't want to like.
Well,
That's
while you
fine by
guys-
me.
While you guys are doing that, Loki's just going to quickly also mention to Ferris Vaudeville. We should probably, if you haven't done it already, we should probably take a couple quick pictures to back up our story, or your story, as it were.
Feel free. I got a few earlier, but feel free to make sure you get a picture of your friend.
Okay, Nate. You are searching through this woman's pockets. You find a purse, and it says on a probably some sort of OAP bus pass, Barbara Argent.
Okay.
And give me a wits awareness.
Okay. 2 seconds there.
You gained a hunger, Nate.
Oh yeah, you should be at Hunger 1.
Should be.
Oh, where am I? That's just a little dash at the end, isn't it?
You just like put the dot in the.
At the very bottom of the core page.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. With 2, you think you see this woman twitch?
I don't know how to phrase this. I think Nate would definitely like stop what he's doing and just like look at maybe like where he saw the twitch. If it was like her hands, whatever.
Not moving now.
Okay, he's gonna take out his knife and just
Stab her in the face.
just stab her hand, just like a bit of a prick.
You give it a prick and
Not like a vicious prick, just like a
light stab.
Like, does she bleed type prick?
yeah.
She does not breathe. You can suspect from that prick that she probably has very little blood congealed within her veins. But she twitches again.
She's not dead.
What?
I don't know. Okay, how much does Nate know about Topper?
Ooh, give me an occult intelligence roll.
As Nate is a baby vampire, so all he's read is like whatever on forums.
Yeah.
At this point, Ferris knows what it is, and he's just gonna lean against the wall and see how long it takes them.
So what it was called what?
Oh, intelligence occult.
Okay.
3 successes. So the Masquerade prevents these forums from giving you any clear information, but you muddle through the mix of contradicting factoids in your head. And
I know what I experienced back at the warehouse, I guess. And kind of
yes.
Yeah.
You're fairly certain that with the correct application of sheer willpower, you probably could have made yourself twitch in that state. Even though the stake penetrated your heart, that's not what sent you into a sleep state. It was the sheer volume of damage that you'd taken.
Okay. I think Nate will just stand up, shrug, and be like, "I'll be right back."
What? No. But you said she wasn't dead.
Yeah.
How's she not dead?
Give
She's
me-
very
give
clearly
me 2
dead.
seconds.
She's very
Nate-
clearly dead. It what? Is she a
Nate
zombie?
will just walk past him,
Is
go
she a mummy?
downstairs. He'll probably, like, if you guys let him go downstairs, he will. Probably find the nearest like human and just dominate them.
I am extremely worried about what's currently going on.
What do you say?
Depends where they are. They're probably in the bathroom, maybe even in a stall. He might just follow someone in and just be like, "Give me your hand for a sec."
It works.
Okay.
They
He'll
give
take
you-
his knife, cut a little bit of their hand, just get enough of their blood on the knife, and then lick it. Maybe even like, just like, tell them to relax while he's doing it, so like they're not like panicked. Just like not even like enough, just like say like even like enough of like a little swipe, so it even might look like a deeper paper cut or something. Not enough to like actually hurt them or like.
Okay, what's your intent here?
Just to get the blood in the knife, to bring the blood back up and pour it into her mouth.
Okay, so you're going to have to make me 2 rolls for this.
Oh, I could bring him up, but I don't want to bring the person up though. That's the thing.
That's your choice. You are
Fuck it, let's
either
bring the
going to
person
have
up.
to make a couple of rolls, or you're going to have to take them upstairs.
Yeah, let's take him upstairs. I'll just say follow me.
Okay.
I was trying to be dastardly there, but I was like, Nate's not dastardly. He's just gonna sacrifice. Yeah, let's do it.
He's a brute force kind of guy. Okay. Nate returns with a middle-aged graying man in a relatively nice, smart, casual suit kind of get up.
Okay.
Nate's gonna lead the guy over, look at Ferris, and be like, "No,
I think you're on the right track.
but you don't recognize this guy, right? He's not important."
No.
Yeah, then he's just gonna slash his wrist and put the wrist over your wand's mouth.
Okay. The blood trickles and pools, and this man reels back. But I'm assuming you try and hold him in place. Just
Oh yeah,
like-
the grip is like, yeah.
yeah. He makes a bit of noise. But as you trickle and squeeze this life blood into the woman's, I guess you prop her mouth open a bit, you can see teeth, canines extend. You can see her eyelids flutter, and her skin seems to fill in, de-wrinkle, and after a little bit, there's a cough and a splutter of blood comes back out up at you, and she just goes, whoa, like, and
Oh,
is
okay.
resurrected.
Welcome back.
Who are you? Where did my Reginald go?
Okay. Is this guy like? Is he like he made like he stuff back or what's going on with him?
The guy
that,
you were holding on to?
Yeah.
Like,
I presume I let go of him once she like stood up, right?
you can do whatever you like, but he does not seem to be okay with the situation here. He just bled into a woman who woke up and he saw all of it, and he's confused and making scared noises and is starting to get louder.
I'm gonna pull my gun out, point it at his head. Be quiet, please.
Hang on. I don't know what that would be. Manipulation, intimidation, probably.
Okay.
One success.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nate's gonna dominate the guy anyway. You're grand.
Okay, yeah. You have a guy with a gun to his head, and he's like shouting, like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah,
And he
I think
screams
Nate's
for
just
help.
gonna grab his head, look straight into it, and just say, "Shh, relax." Snake tries best. No, I can't.
You are
I
going
wish
to
I
have
could-
to make an opposed roll against this man now.
I think I like, because I can't. I can never put someone to sleep because that's like unconscionable thing. Yeah.
I think it was charisma for compel.
Yeah. So
Charisma
charisma
discipline?
dominate then, isn't it?
So roll your thing.
And do I get any modifiers for being in a pretty environment? No, I don't think so, since this room's creepy.
This room's creepy. You don't get any negatives though.
Okay.
Two successes is what you needed. This man is silenced. And so the confused woman in the center of the room continues her questioning.
Did you have any plan for what to do with this guy afterwards?
Usually I do the plans. I dislike it when Nate goes off and does things without asking.
Don't worry, this guy. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of him. He's not going to cause much a problem.
You can take care of him if you like. I had no part of this.
Ferris. You know a masquerade breach when you see one.
Yeah, well.
That's why I'm asking them what they're going to do about it.
Nate?
What is your plan?
Well, this guy might not leave this room. Or we could send him somewhere where he'll be looked after. I know a place.
Where does the line draw on dominate when someone knows they're going to die? Because I know you can't do terminal decree if it's directly leading to their death, but can they, if it's going to be like you're going to your death, then we'll kill you, do they be able to breach dominate?
I think so.
It's possible, yes. It depends on how much they know that they're going to go and die. Anything for self-preservation tends to break dominate as they rebel against their own death.
Like if I went to stab him, I'd say he'd wake up, or if I asked him to walk off a cliff, he just wouldn't.
He wouldn't, yeah. Or if you were like, "Come with me, I'm going to murder you," he probably wouldn't go.
Yeah.
Well, I'm rather interested to see how you'll fix this. And he's going to sit down, put one knee on top of the other, and fold his hands on it.
Okay. I think Nate will take a quick glance back at the old lady and be like, I have a feeling that she... I'm not too sure what happened here, but I think it's starting to come together. And I think he'd look at Loki and be like, are you aware of Mr. Brass?
Don't talk about me like I'm not here. Who are you?
Nate, do you want to field this one, or shall I take it?
Your pleasure.
Who are you?
I'm Barbara.
Okay.
I was helping my Reginald. He came back to me.
All right. And what happened?
He said he needed to leave the city, and he mentioned he had a blood disease. He needed some of my blood, and I gave it to him. He wasn't well. He needed my help, and then he gave Yes, he gave me a drink, and that was the last thing I remember.
Okay, and who is your Reginald? Is he your husband, your son, your...
He's my he's my son.
Okay. And how are you feeling?
A little thirsty. I am Loki. Make me charisma plus maybe leadership or persuasion.
Oh, that's about the same. I'll go with persuasion. Yep, about what I expected.
I can't really feel much at all. What happened to me? Where's Reginald?
I assume he's gone.
No,
I tell you what. We're in the back of a bar right now. I'm sure they have CCTV. We could ask if we could take a look, and we might be able to find your Reginald, and we could then take you to him.
I don't think I should stay. I should go and look for him. I don't.
No, don't worry. It's late. We'll help you find him. You wouldn't want to go walk around the streets at night by yourself.
I don't know if I trust you.
The name is Ferris of Vaudeville. I'm at your service, and I will bow low.
Charisma etiquette.
Can I use my looks?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Charisma. Etiquette. Oh, balls. Click the wrong button. That's why I'm having trouble.
Three. She seems strangely charmed and calms down a little bit. And then says, if you can help me find him, he was always such a sensitive boy. So I hope he's well. He's not got himself in trouble.
While they're talking as well, could I very quickly sense the beast?
Yeah, do it.
So for her, it's composure subterfuge.
Okay. 4 successes. You didn't get a crit, but you can sense a supernatural beast from this woman.
So she's not a ghoul.
She's not a ghoul.
Dicks. Okay. Well,
I think I confused you last time as well. The woman in the polo neck does not have a supernatural beast. You could sense something from her.
Okay, so she was a ghoul.
She was a ghoul. I messed up that time.
Okay, no problem.
This woman is, could be a werewolf. You don't know.
No, I doubt it. Yeah. Contextually, I think not. Also, people really need to stop turning old ladies, please. Sorry.
Sorry. He was scared of something. He collected up all his notes up here. He just wanted to leave the city and be safe. I thought I was going with him. Maybe he's left already? Do you know where he'd be?
We can find him. I'm sure we can check the CCTV, and I can leave my friends here to take care of our other guest.
I have a few leads on that, which I need to speak to you about, Mr. Vaudeville, quickly.
Very well. Do you want to speak alone?
Yes, that would be the best, I think. Nate, I'm giving you my gun. Please keep these people here. Please don't kill any of them.
Nate just takes the gun and it doesn't really Like, why you like you want to freak them out even more? But he takes the gun anyway, and just kind of like just shrugs and kind of nods and like, don't take too long.
Okay.
Step outside.
So, if I may give my professional opinion of this current situation and what I can glean from what we currently know, we have a masquerade breach, which is bad. We have a possibly hitherto unaware old lady who's been turned into kindred, I think.
You are aware that there is a rule against that currently.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm assuming that Mr. Brass has done some form of turning his mother into kindred. I don't know why, how, what, or exactly what he was wanting to do with that. So, I think we currently have 2 avenues to take this down. And I didn't want to say this in front of Nate, because Nate's impulsive, and you never know what he's going to do. Hopefully giving him the gun will not end with them both dead.
Or who is going to do.
I wouldn't know about that. But we can deal with the man. I assume we're going to have to kill him or something along those lines, because there doesn't really seem to be another avenue currently, unless you have some form of manipulation that you can use to keep him quiet. We could question the old lady. I'm not sure she's going to be very useful. It sounds more like we'd have to track down this Mr. Brass, who may have been successful at leaving the city. Or we could just kill both of them and cover this entire thing up so that we're not culpable.
Josh, in terms of the law about siring new kindred who are sired, I assume they die and the person who sired them dies?
Well, those are the rules. They appear not to have been followed 99% of the time, as evidenced by the kindred standing in front of you.
Hello.
But if we do find someone who has been sired, are we allowed to summarily just get rid of them? Or do we have to report that to someone?
You are very aware that Thin-Blood lives are at the whim of anyone who finds them in their domain.
Okay. And what do I know of Mr. Brass?
Mr. Brass, pain in the ass, goes the rhyme.
Mr. Brass is a Thin-Blood who managed to amass a small amount of power in this area.
EE. Ferris, make me a wits politics.
I'm happier listening to what Loki has to tell me. I want to operate off his information today.
It's what I'm here for. Yes, Mr. Brass. Thin-Blood kind of fancied himself a bit of a duke, I guess. Or a baron, maybe. Not affiliated directly with the anarchists, but also not directly affiliated with the Camarilla either. Had a small base of power around here, was dethroned a few months ago, maybe, and disappeared mostly from sight, went underground. Most of his power base split off and disappeared.
That rings a bell for you, Ferris. Before the timeline that he's talking about, there was talk of a Mr. Brass maybe joining the Camarilla. That never happened.
Thin-Blood that rose. No. So, even if he had a bit of power and now he's lost it, he's a Thin-Blood, so he's fair game.
Fair game.
Oh, yeah.
Well, in that case, he's operating out of an establishment, which is my domain. He sired someone against the rules. And, no offense to yourself and Nate, he's a Thin-Blood. I don't see any reason why he should be the exception when he's stepping on my property. I think I'll check in with Juliet first. It's possible we may have coincidental jobs.
Okay.
I'll take the old woman to look over some CCTV and confirm it is Mr. Brass she's talking about. Do you know Mr. Brass by sight?
I never worked for him directly. I assume a couple of jobs that came down the wire came from him, but...
In which case, I'll get an image from the CCTV. If you want to deal with the man in that room...
Could I suggest that Nate deals with it, seeing as he created the problem? It could be a good learning opportunity.
In which case, you can take the old woman to look at the CCTV.
Very well.
I'll be sitting out front having a drink with our lovely friend in the polo.
Would you like me to let Nate know what he has to do, or do you want to tell him yourself?
I think I'll tell him.
Okay. So I'm going to come back into the room. Nate, gun.
He would just give the gun back over.
Thank you. Now, sorry, I didn't catch your name. A young lady.
Oh, Barbara Argent.
Barbara, we just need you to come and have a little bit of a look at the CCTV of this fine establishment, just so that we can help track down your son.
Yes, sure. I hope you can find him. What's happening with this young man? And
Well,
he points to the cowering wreck in the corner.
I'm sure my dear friend Nate can take care of him, Nate.
Mm-hmm. Consider it done.
And I'm going to lean in, like, really close to Nate's ear and, like, put one hand just down below the small of the back. Just try not to make a mess.
Cannot, not really say anything because he doesn't want the man to, like, worry about it. But he'll definitely, like, push back into your man's hand, into Ferris's hand. As he would.
Yep. Okay, and then I'm going to go out front and I'm just going to sit down with the lesson of the polo neck and have a drink.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking
Oh, the lady is not in a polo neck. She is in kind of office
business clothes. Yeah.
That's the other ghoul that you saw
Sorry.
at the Nosferatu place. However, Juliet does return. She returns with news that there have been a significant, as in more than 0, number of lupine attacks at kindred domains, including there are 3 that she mentions to you. 1 at the hospital with the Tremere, 1 at the Elysium,
Oh my.
1 that has happened while you were out at the Goth Club, and that is it. The 3: Elysium, Club, and Hospital.
Anyone important die?
I'm afraid the Nosferatu contact didn't say. He wasn't sure. It's too early to... Possibly they could have gone to ground, or they could have been... they could have met their final death. They're not sure. They're investigating. However, the target, as they mentioned, would be this lupine. It needs to end. In their words.
A lupine is a non-trivial task.
Your payment would be a major boon. From Mr. Gates.
Thomas Gates, consider it done. And I will also want 2 minor boons for 2 of my allies this night.
I can certainly negotiate that. You also have a message from Prince Severa. When you are done in the following nights, he wishes to have an audience with you.
Give him my respects and tell him I will be there.
Absolutely. And she rushes off, presumably to do the things you have told her.
I kiss her on both cheeks before she leaves.
She does the European style, and kisses back. Loki, you take Barbara.
Yeah.
And you take her to the CCTV. How? This is not a place you're familiar with, and there probably are going to be people in the way that would disagree with your particular actions.
Yes. I'm not sure how to do this.
Shall I give you some time to think? Because Nate needs to make a decision with what he's doing with this man.
Yeah, okay.
That he has fed to Barbara.
Okay, so I presume that I've been keeping this guy calm-ish with the dominate. Since I dominate him once, right, it's easier to kind of keep him like relaxed. Like I wouldn't have pointed the gun at him. Like I wouldn't have used that.
You can give him commands and he will follow them for a time, yes.
Okay, so I think I'll say relax. Just like maybe the last relax is still active or whatever. I think at my phone, I'm gonna message my mentor and just say, got a masquerade breach here. Yeah, I'll say not even masquerade breach here. Just say because I want to be careful what I text, because that got me in trouble before. Maybe say maybe the system's been breached. Do you want to come take a look, or am I okay to dispose of the breach?
If you text that, you get a message back saying, if you mean what I think you mean, witnesses do not exist.
All right. So Nate
Where
will...
are you?
Nate will text the address.
Okay. You get a message saying, I'm on my way.
Okay. Then, yeah. Nate will text him saying, like, where he is in the place, like, if he's upstairs. He'll let him know that, like, of his companions are here, but they left.
Who are your companions?
2 people I met tonight.
Names, boy.
He'll definitely name Ferris. Unfortunately.
See you in 5.
And I don't think
Any
Nate will reply.
loose ends? Question mark.
Just this guy.
Make sure he dies.
Okay, Nate will like close the phone. He will probably tell this guy to relax again if he's not already freaked out.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just have some fun. Let's just feed.
Do you murder him?
Yeah.
Okay. You feed to 0 hunger. I am going to roll 2d10. You get... Ooh. You get 1 point of Auspex. And you lose your 2 points in Fortitude.
Yeah.
Which
What is
will reduce
Auspex?
your health.
Auspex is super fun.
Auspex
first
is...
cure of Auspex allows you to see weird things that are going on.
Oh, cool.
Or heighten your
Thank God.
senses, add to your awareness rolls, that sort
Oh
of
yeah,
thing.
there's that other choice, isn't there?
Yeah, it's not as fun.
No.
However, you now have... You have an understanding of what was happening to Ferris at the entry to this room. You're like, oh, that might be in it. As you feel this very weak emotion filter into you. It gives you Auspex level 1, and you can choose between heightening your senses or sensing the unseen. One is more fun than the other. And he dies. Take a stain.
Cool.
There is now a second desiccated body in this room. You presume it might not be the... It's definitely not the second overall, and may not be the last either.
Okay.
Loki, what are you doing?
This place is owned by Mr. Brass, right?
You don't know.
What's it called?
The Brass Monkey.
I'm going to take an educated guess and say that it is. I'm going to walk up to, with a lovely old lady, I'm going to walk up to a bar staff, and say, hello, nice to meet you. We need access to your cameras, to your recordings, if that's possible, please.
And who are you?
I am a private investigator, and this is the mother of the owner of this establishment. She would like to find his location.
Right. Charisma persuasion? Manipulation persuasion?
Or subterfuge, because he pretended to be a PI.
He's not pretending. So you can do subterfuge or you could do persuasion.
I would like to do subterfuge, please. I am not persuasive. Manipulation.
Oh dear.
Is that good?
Yeah, go on then.
Okay.
Subterfuge, manipulation, or charisma. Probably
Alright,
manipulation.
Manipulation.
2 successes. Fortunately, what you needed. And this guy goes, right, I've heard the owner's on his way, so she won't be too she won't have too much trouble finding him, but you can take a look if you want, just through there.
Just through there?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much. Come on, dear. And
okay.
Yeah.
Just a wits investigation to go through this CCTV footage.
Okay.
You can get +2 for having someone who will recognize faces there. 4 successes. You zoom back like, oh god, it must be 2 months. You're like, no change, no change, no. 2 months ago. To when you finally see both Mr. Brass and Barbara enter the bar. What you see is Mr. Brass leading her. She seems a little confused, and she's like, "Oh yes, that's the day that he brought me. It's really been that long. I don't think it's it. I must have hit my head." And then
Yes.
you see the camera footage of him leading upstairs.
I'm assuming there's no actual footage of the room, right?
There's no footage of the room, but you do get the corridor in the back and the back alley, which kind of looks onto that corridor as well. So you see the two of them enter the alchemist's room, and hours go by, hours and hours. You see the alley footage, the outside, any escape route possible. You zoom through it. No one leaves that room.
So it's possible that he left through a secret exit escape route. That's where Loki's mind goes immediately, basically. Okay, well, I think we've established...
You got 4 successes as well.
Yeah.
There's a single frame of white light from underneath the door to that room.
Okay.
I think that's all you get.
Right. Well, I think we've got a decent timeline, and we have the footage that gives us a profile of your son. I think we should be able to find him. Don't worry about it. I think we should go back to Mr. Vaudeville. He's made it his personal mission to find your son. And we'll see what our next step is.
Okay then.
So I'll take her back to Ferris Vaudeville.
Ferris, you are having a very pleasant conversation with this woman who is enamored with you. Just keeps on checking her phone, however. And after 5 minutes, Nate, where do you go once you've killed this man?
I would. Okay, I think I would take out my phone, the second phone that I have, for Florence and Loki, and then I would message him, be like, "Taken care of. Do you want me to leave it here, or will I join you downstairs?"
Leave it where it is. I will join you downstairs.
Okay, so you can make like either close the door, make sure it's like either locked if you can, or even just close it a little bit, and just go downstairs like nothing. Make sure, maybe check himself off, make sure there's nothing on him, any blood or anything, and just go downstairs.
Okay. Loki, Nate, Barbara, Ferris all arrive in the bar. You might get a few strange looks. However, Ferris, at your table near the window, you see an incredibly fancy Mercedes roll up outside.
It's rather gauche.
And out steps Bradley Grimald. Nate, Loki, I imagine you notice this as well. He waits there for a second as he makes eye contact with you, Ferris, through the glass, and very, very meticulously, very slowly walks his way into the bar and just waves off the wait staff who comes up to him like as soon as he enters. Ferris.
Bradley.
What are you doing in my bar?
I'm in an entertainment establishment in this fair city. I believe I'm allowed to drink.
By the looks of you, you're a little bit unwell. Are you sure you're able to drink in this place? Are you sure it's not owned by me? Are you sure not all of these kind are owned by me?
You do forget so many important rules and laws. I know there are many to keep track of, but I'm sure even you can manage it.
I make the laws in my domain.
Except for entertainment establishments.
An old law for an old prince.
I haven't heard anything changing that. Until I do. And I'm going to run my hand down the woman.
stop touching things that you can't afford, Ferris. And he looks over to Nate. Boy, here, now.
Yep, Nate just like walks forward straight away.
Oh, shit.
As you can see, Ferris, everything you thought you owned belonged to me. And looking at this boy here, you haven't been following all the rules either.
I think Nate's gonna say that. He's just gonna look really puzzled and just look at like.
Ferris is just gonna like look at Nate and just shake his head slightly.
Nate. Just so we're clear. And he stares at Ferris. Who do you owe allegiance to?
Yeah, I don't think Nate will hesitate. I think he will. Yeah, I think he would just say, "You."
He smiles a big, deep, toothy smile.
So this is your establishment then?
Yes.
You own it? What goes on here you're responsible for?
Everything inside belongs to me. So yes.
Oh. Well, it's rather interesting then that Thin-Bloods were breeding in your establishment.
What do you mean? Nate, explain.
I'm gonna fondle her hair.
Nate's not even gonna look. He's just gonna like look straight back and be like, there was a woman upstairs. It seemed like there's some kind of, and I think he'd lean in, like be like a little bit quiet, like transfusion done.
Is Mr. Brass still here?
I think he's responsible.
Oh my. Can't keep our ducks in a row, can we, Bradlers? What a shame.
What a shame to catch you poaching on my premises, Ferris.
I haven't poached at all. I'm merely here waiting for the owner to arrive.
Nate, didn't he take a drink on my premises? Isn't there-
Did you? I don't think he did.
He didn't.
Yeah, I think Nate would. Can I read him? Can I see what answer he wants? Like, he's like,
Let's do a charisma insight.
okay.
Incidentally, I'm standing on the side of with Vaudeville. Just so that's clear.
Okay.
It's very much appreciated, Loki. I don't suppose you've ever considered being a toreador.
I don't think that would suit me, but
He's not got the cheeks for it.
Yeah, we can get like something can be done about them probably.
we can I pad my cheeks.
Botox.
Just get like two giant like red patches and stick them on.
Like Pikachu.
Just tell Pika all the time.
Oh god!
Oh my goodness.
Why does everyone want to dress up my characters? It's so weird.
Nate, 2 successes. You're not sure what he wants, but you have an instinct that it would be best to agree with him if you want to stay on his good side.
Nate, what clan do you really want to owe allegiance to?
I think Nate would just either. I think he would look at Ferris and not kind of like see anything, and then look back and be like, I have my hands full upstairs, so I'm not too sure after.
Oh no, Bradley. What's the problem?
If I could interject for a moment. So
I imagine just everyone looks at you like, the fuck are you?
there has been no drinking as of us coming here. We have been investigating. We have not taken time for pleasure, aside from a brief conversation with a very lovely young lady who enjoyed it. There have been breaches on this premises, but they have not been of our committal. That would fall under your jurisdiction.
And under my jurisdiction, it's very interesting that there's not been any drinking. So if I go upstairs, Ferris, I won't find a desiccated corpse.
I don't know what you'll find, but regardless, it's still my domain. You can own the building, you can own the brick and mortar. The laws are very clear on this. Whether you think they're old or not, they're still on the books. And it would be such a shame if things were to happen between us. There are so few of our kind left. And too many lupine. What's one drink between old pals?
He smiles and bows a little like, you're right. We've been through too much together. Won't you say a minor boon and we all forget this?
Very well, I'll take a minor boon and I'll be on my way.
You owe to me, Ferris.
Times are changing, old man.
Nate. Tell him what you really think of him.
You're muted, mate.
Yeah, and I think we'll look like a bit on the spot and kind of like what I think of him.
I'm gonna flex. My arm around her next to me and pull her in very close and still obviously continue to flex.
Clearly there's something between you, Nate. I would hate to get in the way. If you never wanted to see me again, I would understand. And yet, your choice. Remember our conversation. There are advantages here. I'm working with you. What do you really think of Ferris?
Oh, it's so I think
I wink at Nate.
Could I suggest the SIRE, the blood bond willpower thing, just to help him a little bit? Because he's bonded to Thingy now, right?
No.
Oh, he isn't?
He
Okay.
has taken
Never mind me then.
2 drinks out of a required 3. So,
means
Nate, you are
just-
feeling equally well disposed to both of you. You, at this point, have probably figured out that at one point you probably had a bond to Ferris, but that has faded over the not very long that you've been a kindred. But it has been months.
okay. I have no clue. Like, I guess Nate himself loves Bradley a little bit more, but the now unknown with Ferris is a bit of a draw. But he's also
It's kind of a a tug of war between power and beauty, may I suggest? So, like, which one's more important to Nate, beauty or power? It's kind of like a tipping point.
okay. I think Nate will like reply, and he'll just say, "I've only just met him. I don't think that much. He seems capable, and he's helpful. for now.
Really, Nate? And I thought we were getting on so well together tonight. I can offer you more than this charlatan can.
I think like it's visible on Nate's face how torn he is. Ugh. I don't know if he'd say anything. I think he would just like, ugh.
Are we out in the open right now?
Right now you're in the bar. Probably in a corner, because that's where you probably would have haunted, but you're out in the open. Unless you want to do something sleight of hand-wise, the likelihood is it will be seen by observers.
You two are surprisingly useful. Times are changing, powers are rising, old powers are falling. The prince is dead, long live the new prince. And Mr. Bradley here is sadly mistaken. He forgets his laws. Even I know that one. Toreador own every establishment. You can own the brick, you can own the mortar, but I own the land rights. I'm the only one left. And you two can share in those rights to feed wherever you wish. And more than that, I can offer you my protection.
For whatever that's worth.
You know those who fall outside my protection, Brads.
Nate, wits insight. 2 successes. It's not difficult to tell that, first off, Ferris is telling truth. And when he mentions his protection, Bradley seems to take a beat. It seems like it was a threat that Bradley took seriously.
Oh. Yeah, I think Nate will like look at Ferris and be like,
Your own man, Nate. You've got all of immortality. Make good choices.
feeding is not really much of a choice for me, unfortunately. My tastes are quite refined, and I think as he says refined, he'll look back at Bradley to kind of like hint that like he has to feed on like vampire blood, like Hinder blood.
Well, I'm sure we can find a way for that to be sorted. Whatever you want, I'm sure I'll provide it. I've catered to many tastes. And while he's saying this, Ferris is crossing and uncrossing his legs.
We're like basic instinct
Yeah, I'm going to basic instinct the shit out of this.
He's not wearing pants, but he's also wearing trousers, so it doesn't have quite the same effect.
No, sadly not.
Yeah, fuck it. Nate's like addicted to pretty people. Yeah, it works. Nate's gonna be like, we got a job to do, don't we? I guess we better go.
So, low-key, you're happy with this arrangement?
I've already agreed on the contract to you, so yeah, this is fine. I
Nate,
find you more agreeable than this one.
how well spoken. And Nate, you're on board?
Yeah, I guess I am. And he'll like
Then come sit next to me, and I'm going to put my arm up on the sofa.
No. I think he will look at Bradley just to like see his expression. Kind of like afraid to see it, but also like to kind of like, I don't know, show him that like maybe like Bradley don't understand that he's being forced in a position, which he probably won't. But I think Nate would timidly eventually, sit down next to him.
I'm going to sleight of hand one of my knives,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to place it behind the woman. And as I look Bradley in the eye, I'm going to kiss her on the neck, and I'm going to bite just enough to get a little bit of blood and drink, and then lick it closed. I'm making a point.
I'm at this point. I'm probably like hand on gun inside my jacket. Just FYI.
Mm-hmm. Ferris, sleight of hand will be dexterity plus probably athletics or subterfuge. Subterfuge, I think, in this instance.
Okay. And it's dexterity, so celerity as well.
Yeah, if you would like to rouse check for that, certainly.
Oh, do I have to rouse check every time I use that? I thought it was a passive.
For the rapid reflexes, you don't have to. For the fleetness, yes, you do.
Ooh. Let me just double check so I've got this right.
Is it the level 2 one you're talking about?
Whichever one is rapid reflexes, blah, blah, blah.
For adding to
Allows you
dexterity
to
rolls.
Add to dexterity rolls, yes.
That is a rouse check.
Rapid reflexes, it says cost free.
Oh, I guess you can add an extra 2 dice for your rapid reflexes because it will let you do certain very quick actions, very small actions for free.
Oh, wait, no. Sorry, I'm getting the wrong one. Yeah, I think you're right. I meant to go with...
I think there's an activation for it if you want to.
Yeah, so it's fleetness. I mean, yeah, sure. I'll use a rouse check for it. So the test is that, and here's the rouse check.
Okay.
Crap.
There's a reason he's scared of me.
I think you chose the right side, Nate.
Okay. Nate. Loki, I think you both see this, and you see a flicker of fear in Bradley's eyes. And all he says is, as you met his eyes... Shit, I've got the wrong notes open.
I reduced my hunger by 1 for feeding, I assume.
Sure. Unless you're at 1 already.
No, I got 1 from that, so I went 2 and then...
Okay. You are at 1, basically. Oh no. Yes, what does he say?
He says, "You win, I give up. Goodbye."
Oh no.
Tucks his tail between his legs.
He looks you in the eye, Ferris, and says, "Next time you're on a high building, jump off. Please make me a resist roll." And for some reason, it's not on here what the resist roll for dominate is.
Which level of dominate is it?
It's the
Mesmerize?
Dominate 5. It is mesmerize, yes.
Oh god. Well, it's been good knowing you guys.
You won't die from jumping off a high building.
Yeah, no, I won't. Yep, this is gonna go really well.
Yeah, what,
I'm gonna
what's the
rouse the
resist
blood.
roll?
Intelligence plus resolve. I'm gonna rouse the blood.
Okay, intelligence resolve +1. Three successes. You can't re-roll anymore.
Nope.
Or actually, no. You should have 1 hunger. For some reason, you've got 2. You can re-roll that 4 if you'd like.
I'll see what he gets because I can always re-roll to try and get 10s if I need to overcome it with a critical.
Okay, if you want to.
I mean, I've got to risk it because, yeah,
8
I'm not going to
successes.
overcome that.
Fucking hell.
Ferris. There is a whirlwind inside your mind. And just, like, you're tucking a note away for later. Next time you're on a high building, you're going to jump off.
Well, that's worse than knowing, Bradis, but we can just have a lovely tete-a-tete right here, can't we?
I'd rather see your tet rolling along 4. Goodbye, Nate. Let's hope we never meet again, boy.
I think at the boy, Nate's hand will just like go straight to Ferris's thigh. Not like on top of it, but just beside it for like a weird like safety thing.
Okay. Bradley turns around, looks over his shoulder to the woman next to you, Ferris. He gives her a look. She joins him. They both leave. Nate. Your 3-dot mentor.
Oh, shit.
Oh, snap.
This is entirely up to Ferris, I think, but the question is, should you delete it? Or should you change it? Should you change the name by it?
Yeah, I think he would just yeah. He would change it if Ferris.
Is Ferris willing to mentor this boy?
Well, if he proves himself tonight, I'm sure we can come to an arrangement.
Yeah, Nate, I guess that's a conversation for the two of you. You're, like, obviously something was happening between Nate and Bradley, so I guess... Nate, would you ask Ferris?
Yeah.
What would you say?
Let's see. We're still at the thing, right? We're still at the table.
The tension in the room has lessened significantly.
Okay.
Would you like, Mr. Vaudeville? Would you like me to take what's her name? Angela? I can never remember. Barbara. Would you like me to take Barbara out to wait for you guys if you want a quick conversation?
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that. This is someone else's establishment, so Barbara, if you will just come with me.
Yes, of course. Are we going to find Reginald?
Yes, he's going to just be in the back room where you saw him last time.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you so much.
Oh, God.
Okay. I'm going to take it to the back room.
I feel like we skipped over the bit where Nate was going to ask Ferris to be a mentor.
I assume that happens afterwards. But...
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think Nate will follow then. Yeah, Nate will follow Ferris. Kind of like...
If you wanted to have that later, then that's fine.
Yeah, he might panic after the death or whatever that's going to happen.
Ferris.
Nate, you seem to have something on your mind as I lead the old lady up.
He... what do I do now? He was helping, protecting... He was my way out.
Your way out?
Off the streets, out of the sewers.
Oh my. You certainly have gone down in life. You didn't say that. I'm still pretty sure I've got one of your Instagram posts saved on my phone somewhere. That image was quite ravishing.
You remember?
I remember I didn't really have control, but I remember.
Well, it's been difficult. It's not...
You were not my choice. You were Angela's choice.
I think need to look at if Loki's coming. Loki, are you coming?
No.
No. Oh.
No, I'm waiting outside.
Okay. Then Nate will just be like, he'll like look up and be like, "So, you didn't want me after all?"
I didn't really have a choice at the time. It's hard to exactly decide what is yours and what is the blood bond.
You regret it?
Not really. I regret leaving you to end up in the sewers, running with Nosferatu and rats. No Toreador should have to really be like that regardless, even if they're thin blood or not.
Then you understand why I had to ally myself with him.
Oh, I understand. But he's not the only kid on the block now.
So, what does that mean?
I have a couple of clubs around here. I'm sure that we can find you somewhere. And if you want some advice now and again, well, I've got a couple of tasks I need to do, and if we can accomplish them adequately, and you can prove you're worthy, I don't see why I shouldn't help you. It was big of you to go against Bradley Grimwald. You've only known me for a few hours. I appreciate that.
Then again, I feel like I know you with a while. Plus, you are very alluring. I think his eyes will go down. Like, you know, like where he's gazing.
Oh, this conversation will be less awkward without an old lady in the room. And I'm just going to grab her and I'm going to feed.
Okay. You feed until she dies?
I feed until she goes into torpor.
Okay. Interesting. I am going to need you to make a willpower roll.
Oh dear, okay.
Oh wait, you're a hunger 1, right?
Yeah, I'm hunger 1.
Okay, 1 success does it then. You feed, and this is the most disappointing meal you have ever had. You've just filled up on bread when there is a extravagant 10-course meal out there somewhere waiting for you. This was a waste of your time, but she is now in torpor.
Well, that's a shame. They pull out a knife and I'm just going to sever her head with it.
I imagine, Nate, you barely even see this happen.
Mm-hmm.
It is so fast and so brutal that her head falls from her shoulders. And you're not entirely sure what Ferris did, but he definitely maybe twitched.
There's a slight flourish of the hand as it appears again.
Nate's just I think you could read him like a book. Like, he's so stunned. He's just like, shit. Okay. What do we do now? Do we leave her here or?
It's his establishment. He made that plain and clear. I would pee on the bodies, but I can't exactly pee.
Okay, if you say so. I don't think we should stay here though.
No. There are a couple of things I need to get done this night. Two things in particular. There's a lupine on the loose that's been attacking Camarilla domains, including the Elysium. And I believe I can get you and your friend a small boon out of taking that thing down.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Secondly, a small favor. If you two bump into that lovely ghoul he had tonight, again, please send a message.
You got it.
I'm assuming this is in, like, I'm now with you guys, like, you've started walking out.
Yeah.
Probably.
So, you mentioned something about lupines looking for you. Wouldn't it be easier to go directly to whatever lupine is taking on the Camarilla right now?
If we wanted to confront said lupine, then yes.
That seems to be the easy way out of your situation. We go, we find the lupine, kill said lupine, and I believe we might be able to swing both of you a small boon out of it. And we can get into the good graces of the Camarilla for killing off someone that's attacked the Elysium this night. And one of my clubs, which I'm very disappointed about. Such a shame.
That sounds like a decent deal. It depends whether you want to follow up on this Mr. Brass situation or not. I have a lead that I think could help, but if you'd prefer to deal with this lupine first,
Well, the lupine is active this night. Mr. Brass is maybe not going to be back this night. It seems to make sense that we go after the lupine immediately to prevent it from hitting up another establishment, or perhaps let it hit up a few of Mr. Grimm's establishments first.
if I can ask, Mr. Vaudeville, who would the small favor be from?
Mr. Gates.
Okay, I'm in.
You said that you could help with my tastes, right?
Oh.
I don't think that man from before didn't exactly have a lot to him, if you get my drift.
What is it you need?
It'd be nice if kindred blood before we met this werewolf.
Ah, I see why you were quite so attached to him.
Yeah.
Well, before we go then, unbuttons his sleeve and moves several metallic objects along his arm as he does so.
Definitely. Okay.
Do you like some privacy?
Actually, I don't do that. Put the shirt down. Just unbuttons the collar a little bit further.
I'm just gonna go wait by the car if that's okay.
Yeah, Nate doesn't even hesitate. Like, he'll definitely do it like as like smoothly as he can. Maybe like depending on how like Ferris reacts, his hands will like hold him in a way, so they're like not like as in like hold him, but like just kind of like it's intimate. If that makes sense.
I will let you know, Ferris, that your skin being punctured by kindred fangs is aggravated damage, no matter how gently it happens. So you would probably have to make an incision and teach Nate not to.
Ah, Nate. Knife. There we go.
Just put in a spigot.
Yeah. I think Nate's good with that.
No, we put the spigot in down there. That's how this works, Josh. Then we do the basic instinct, and it's just Nate's just like really thirsty.
Yeah, okay, cool. Nate, you get your kindred blood for the week that feeds your disciplines. Discipline. Oh, no, you have to. Never mind. And
does he get celerity?
Oh, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
You've fed, and that changes the discipline you get. Ferris, do you have the ability to transfer celerity?
I do not. No.
In that case, Nate, roll me a d10.
Okay. This one, it's like our 1d10, right?
Just one.
Oh, sugar, I know. How do I normally do that from the core?
Just do like a rouse check or something down the bottom.
Okay.
2.
A 2. I think you probably retain your point in Auspex. That stays where it is.
This is such a shame they don't weight it depending on the number of dots in each one.
I was.
Oh, okay.
He rolled a 2.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, unfortunately Nate lost fortitude. So going up against a werewolf is going to be interesting. So where do you go next? This is your place. I mean, Ferris has dueling feelings about what this place is and where it was. Like who was here and stuff like that, but I imagine you just leave, you don't do anything before you go.
We could put a quick call into the authorities and let them know that they should check out a certain club owned by a certain person. But if you want to be an ass about it.
No, the bodies in the back would be drained of blood, and that would alert the Second Inquisition.
Oh, fair enough.
I don't exactly want them going through the CCTV and spotting all of us on that. Things get complicated. Now, if we have a chat with this werewolf, we could send the werewolf to the club and then kill it, but I believe having a boon from Mr. Gates would be helpful. I meet up with Juliet, who's outside, I assume.
Oh, yeah.
Juliet, did you manage to get the extra agreement we asked for?
Mr. Gates has agreed. Reluctantly. He wasn't happy.
He really is. Right. Do we have a map of where these attacks were?
You would know exactly where the domains are that they mentioned. There is the hospital, which is on the... Oh, do I have this still on stream? I do! So, there is a hospital, which is... Or the university is where it's happened. And you would also know that it's likely on... the Malkavian domain has probably been struck by a lupine. There is the university, which is also the hospital. There is the castle in the middle, which is the Elysium. And where else did I say? Oh yeah, your bar, which is in the kind of wine glass area. Top in the right. So yeah, the significant kindred domains have been struck. You imagine nothing important was lost when your bar was attacked, because no one was there apart from maybe a ghoul. However, the top left, or the northwest, is a heavily forested area, and the Malkavian Hall domain was struck first. Boop.
Well, it'll likely be going back that way. What do you think?
I would imagine that if they have targets to hit, they would hit them all as quickly as possible and then move back to where they were originally. So the first place hit is probably the closest, which would mean the easiest way to track them would be to go to there and follow them from that point.
Follow where they came from or follow into town?
Follow where they originally came from. Either if they aren't there anymore, they'll be coming back and we can ambush them, or they will be there with their guard down because they've just put out on a raid.
It would be dangerous to come across more than one lupine.
True.
We can try and catch it on the way back, maybe.
I like that plan better. We can intercept it on its way.
Well, Juliet, take us to the edge of the forest.
Juliet obliges. Nate, Loki, once again, the smoothest, quickest, most comfortable ride across the city you've ever had. It's either an Uber or a sewer for you, but
I have a question.
Any ride without Florence is fine.
Do I still have to sit on the top even though I've changed clothes?
No, we've cleaned you.
Okay, cool. Just need us to check.
Okay, you get to the edge of the forest. Loki and Nate, you're aware of the exact nature of the forest. Ferris, you've probably not been here, have you?
Nope.
So, at first inspection, on a large scale to your west is the estate Hitchton Hall, which you know Taj the Malkavian looked after. There was always weird stuff going on there, but that's to be expected from a Malkavian. And abutting those grand gardens is just, it goes gardens, big hedge, thick forest, and there are, paths, footpaths, jogging paths that go crisscross through east to west on the southern half of the forest. If you go too far north, it gets difficult to move.
If I could suggest a basic stratagem tactic to take down this werewolf, considering what I know of our skills.
Mm-hmm.
I suggest that Nate should be a distraction. I should be a impediment, and you should do the actual damage. Therefore, Nate should be most likely taking pot shots when the werewolf is trying to concentrate on someone else. I should be aiming for knee, leg, arm joints, anything that will distract, and you should be delivering the finishing blow, like, darting in, darting out kind of thing.
I can manage that.
If you have any other skills, then possibly, there should be another tactic employed, but this seemed like the safest one for everyone involved. I'm not very good at punching.
I am gonna lean in conspiratorial to Nate, but I won't it won't be a whisper, it'll be a stage whisper that everyone hears.
Yeah.
I do like it when a man takes control.
Advisory capacity, merely suggesting.
Control and advisory capacity.
Yes.
The three of you.
I mean, yeah.
No, up to you.
I was going to say Nate was going to make some joke about being the center of attention, but it's fine.
He probably does.
Okay, and the three of you proceed into the forest. How exactly are you proceeding? Who is leading?
I assume Ferris is leading, to be honest, but
You know these forests better than I do. I'll keep watch on you if you're going to be the distraction.
I'd like that. Just trying to keep your eyes off me, or take. Yeah.
Ferris winks. I'm going to use my rouse to use my celerity to add to my dexterity and stealth.
That is absolutely going to help you. You do not go up in hunger.
Sweet.
I am peak paranoid right now, just FYI.
Okay.
Loki's buzzing.
Yep.
I enjoy this dice pool, by the way.
Oh!
Oh! That's 12 successes, baby!
That's a John roll. Damn.
We've not had a success that high in this game ever.
That's 3 10s and 3 9s.
I guess Nate chose the right guy.
Oh, motherfucker. Okay.
There is a reason that Bradley's scared of me.
Also, you have a 2 in there. You could reroll if you want.
I need to for some reason. I'm gonna be fine.
Okay. You know what? Nate. There is a rush of wind and some leaves float by. And as you are looking at the leaves, you notice, that wasn't the wind. Oh, where's Ferris gone? However, Nate, you are trying to attract attention, yes?
Yeah.
All right. What's the I am so great wooden spoon and pot roll?
Performance and frankly anything.
Charisma?
Your highest social stat. And
Charisma or composure, yeah. Charisma, I think.
Yeah. Charisma plus performance. Whoops. Forget I have a table there.
Okay. I'll re-roll it just because.
One success.
Ooh.
2 dice.
Forget you have a tiny dice pool for that.
Yeah, because I don't have the. Oh, sorry, I didn't. That was wrong.
If you want to spend willpower, you can have re-rolled all 3.
Yeah, okay.
But those are all successes, so you do get 3 successes. Nate. Natey boy. Nate. This is a great plan. I love it. I'm so happy you decided. And as we're close to the end, I think I will do a little bit of narration after Loki. You give me your role for whatever you're doing. Stealth?
Wits awareness. Loki wants to know what's happening everywhere.
Okay, you are not hiding in particular.
No.
Okay,
You're not trying to draw attention, but not hiding.
Okay,
Loki's going with the plan of you just have to be less loud than the loudest person.
Loki's going with the plan of I have a gun, and if I see them first, I can hit them first.
That's fair enough. That's fine by me.
Wits awareness good?
Yeah, wits awareness. 4. Okay, let's narrate this out. Let's end with this particular part of the story. Nate, how are you making this noise?
Typical Nate fashion, he's gonna start breaking tree branches, stepping on like twigs, maybe like tossing rocks, whatever, just cursing, maybe just saying that, like pretending in his head that he had an argument, maybe even just panicking himself because like he's no longer under Bradley's protection and he has no idea where Ferris has gone, but also kind of like in a kind of like confident manner, kind of showing off to Ferris like, hey, I know you're watching me, kind of.
Okay, cool. And this goes on for a little bit. And as we see from above, rocks being thrown, twigs being smashed, trees being like hit with various things, crows and ravens begin to gather. Loki notices at the edge of his hearing a caw, but also a heavy footfall. And a shiver runs up your spine. We don't even catch a glimpse of the shadow of Ferris as he circles round to where Loki is paying attention to. And that will end this week's show. Thank you everyone so much. And as extra special thanks to E for being the sexiest Toreador we have ever seen.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, baby.
And I look forward to next week, where maybe they fight a werewolf. You just don't know. Oh, I forgot, Loki. At the edge of your hearing, not only do you hear caws, footfalls, you also hear chanting.
Okay.
This forest is alive tonight. So, I'm looking forward to next week when Fuzzy gets back. She was on holiday this week. I don't think I explained that, but yeah, she was busy. Yeah, exactly. We need our Florence. I stepped in a little bit, but anyway, EE, please tell us where we can find you and what you're up to.
You can never find me because I rolled 12 motherfucking success.
Yep, true.
YouTube, .com/enterlism and Twitch.tv/enterlism, because they do things like Hot Divine and stuff and Factoria, and also roll for it all weekend. This was fun. This is immensely fun. I like playing a sexy Toreador.
And like putting the thumb on Nate as well. And other fingers.
Yeah. The spigot.
And tomorrow on your Twitch channel, I'm going to be joining you for Mage.
And we have the Bantam as well.
Oh yeah.
Bantam's coming back tomorrow.
Sweet.
And you've just met sexy vampires. And you're now, tomorrow's going to be interesting. Time Mage plus Forces Mage plus Matter Mage and no Life Mage. Yeah.
I got a Prime. I got 2 points in Prime now. That's cool. Anyway, Delphron, where are you from? Don't say Ireland.
I'm everywhere as Delphron. I stream mostly every day. This week will be a little bit of a process because I'm going back to Ireland at the end of the week. I will be in time for Vampire, so that'll probably be my next stream, to be honest.
Well, we love having you here. And how do you feel about your choice that you had to make today?
I was so happy with the daddy off, but I was like, what would I do and then what would Nate do? And I think Nate would just think with his dick.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. I fully understand. Okay, and last but not least, Daddy Sheepdog.
Hello, I am Sheepdog. You can find me if you look for me. And yeah, can I just say that I love Ferris? He is fucking awesome. And it was not only do I love him, it was very easy for Loki to be like, yeah, I'm with this dude. He's badass. So it was like, as opposed to Nate, that was so easy just to be like, I'm on board.
Well, I made a Toreador and I was like, points in celerity. That's how we roll.
Yeah.
Can we have Ferris back next week for this fight?
I mean, I want to come back to the fight because you don't know how big my dice pools are.
Let's do the fight.
Yay!
My dice pools are pretty good for this.
Awesome.
I definitely want to.
I got to think of a way to bring Florence in. No, I've got it. Don't worry. Oh god, this is going to be good. Okay.
I also want to meet Florence. It's going to be fun.
The two of you in it. Anyway.
It's going to be like a gas fire.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's how he brings the boys to the yard. You should see how big my dice pool is.
12 successes big.
D12s. I've got a big D12 for you. Anyway, I'm Josh. You can find me on Gaming FTL pretty much all over the shop. VODs of this show can be found on Strange Adventures on YouTube. If you just type that into the search bar, I will pop up and my face with a mug going will appear, and you can listen to me tell you stories. But otherwise, if you want to follow this Twitch channel, we hang out and have a nice time chilling, chatting, playing games, and soon painting minis. I've got fucking awesome ghosty scythe to paint for you. I might have to change the color balance because this is not blue, it's gray.
What?
In real life, this is gray. I might need a new camera. Anyway, I adore you all, so until next time, goodbye.